nice to have you.
Thank you very much.
My name is Karatoni and I'm doing an engineering course.
Okay, my name is Olu, a fourth year PhD student at the Institute for Environmental Studies.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I am working on renewable energy in sub-Saharan Africa, especially Nigeria.
Okay.
I've been doing the research for 4 years and I'm wrapping up on that. So I have some results now, which I will share with you.
Okay. Considering the presentation we had in the auditorium, your focus was mainly on acceptability of renewable energy in Africa. Considering the poverty levels we have in Africa, do you think renewable energy should be a good idea for Africa? I mean, should it be focused on the cheap, kerosene?
That's quite an interesting question because a recent report from the Sustainable Energy for All, SFOR report, shows that women in Africa pay more than their counterparts in developed world like the US.
Wow.
They pay more, 4 times more, spending money on candles and kerosene, and this has other side effects. For example, more than 600,000 people suffer from pollution, health pollution problems due to their exposure to candles and wood and all that. Yeah, and all that stuff. So it's unhealthy and it's even much more expensive. So for me, renewable energy is a very good, it's a viable technology in the sense that it has a long-term effect and it's not polluting the environment. I mean, it's less polluting. The sun doesn't pollute, basically. It's not polluting. I mean, we're talking especially on photovoltaics. And pretty clean. When people say it's comparatively, it's not. It doesn't measure up to electricity or normal fossil fuel. I say no, because we do not pay for the true price of electricity. Electricity is subsidized in Africa. So if we were to pay for the true cost of electricity, I mean, let's start from, for example, let's start from gas. There's a lot of subsidies on gas production in Africa. There's a lot of subsidies on gas taxes, on shipments. If you factor in everything and ask people to pay for the true cost of gas, it will be much more expensive than solar. So the real question is, why are we talking about the removal of fuel subsidies to make solar competitive? Why are we not focusing on that? Why are we saying solar is incompetitive?
I guess they would have a very good comparison between the two.
Exactly. So I mean, you can then say this is solar, this is electricity. Let them compete in an open free market system.
Okay,
and of course, solar will win.
Considering, I think it's a very good comparison there when the subsidies are removed. But then, according to your study, what do you think are the main reasons why renewable energy is not picking up?
Okay, so for
acceptability.
I mean, there's a question of culture. So for centuries, women have depended on fuel wood for cooking.
Yeah.
For centuries, we've depended for decades, don't let me call it centuries. For decades, we've depended on fossil fuels for transportation. So it's a sense of culture. And for instance, in countries where you see large fossil fuel deposits, there are vested interests built around that particular resource. They benefit from it, they thrive from it, political systems are built on it, there's a whole political economy to it. So exactly. And there's a discourse built on this. So for example, in Nigeria, people say it is our right, it is our resource. We have the right to fossil fuel, we have the right to cheap fossil fuel. So if you now tell them to come invest in renewable energy,
that's not in Nigeria alone, it's happening.
I mean, it's happening in Sub-Saharan Africa as a whole. Our economic system depends on fossil fuels working because they have been built that way, because a particular set of people are benefiting from that existing structure. So for me, what is important is how do we destabilize this collapse? We say we are the green Davids. How do we break down the silos? How do we say, okay, let people pay for the true cost of oil, and then we'll see if renewables will pick up or not.
Now, another thing is about sustainability, because when we focus now on looking at the importation of solar materials into Africa, don't you think in the future we are going to have a problem of recycling them, dumping them? Because apparently we are focusing on bringing them on and implementing them. We are forgetting about their dumping and treating them. Do you think we'll have a problem in the future?
I mean, to be very honest, as far as I know, I think yes, it is a valid question because we talk about sustainability and we have to think about the future. However, I have seen, for example, a recent project was launched by a group, it's an innovation project on how to recycle gas cylinders. So, I mean, we have gas cylinders and the lifespan is like 6 to 7 years, and after 7 years they become useless. So I see a potential solution like that for solar panels where there will be calls for what can we recycle this into. And I believe, I'm not a material expert, but I believe that these materials are recyclable.
Yeah.
And I believe that by 2025 or 2030, we will be seeing innovative ways by which you could recycle outside of panels. So I don't particularly see a sustainability problem so much.